a lot of people didn't at house are doing. So as everybody knows, I'm sure, that the Irish national anthem in English is called the Soldier Song. And the thing is, the National Army of Ireland, and this is what I'm making comparisons to, and trying to make a show of the government, in other words, that the National Anthem of Ireland is called the Soldier Song, right? And you can't treat the National Army, like soldiers. You treat them like prisoners. And that's straight out. Like, you're honest, people in Mountjoy get better treatment in the army. Straight off the bat, because they get TVs, get everything. They get everything they want in the prisons. In the prisons, they get everything they want. Get full on suites. They probably go to the Shelbourne Hotel for Leo Frank would rather be up with the druggies than with the National Army who served this country extremely well. He rather be known as they go to see the drug dealers to get the extra few bob off them, so the guards will wait them. But anyway, that's corruption for you. But the thing is, the Soldier Song, this is the thing going back to Ireland and going back to the Irish Army. That Irish Army, this is the same with every other army. It's kind of like the People's Army. It's the force of the people, if that makes any sense. It's the force of defending the people. Defending the people's rights, defending the people's liberties, defending the people's independence, and defending the country's independence above all else. And in Ireland, the government, I don't know what kind of scenic government we have sometimes, but they do a bit scenic anyway. Actually, the word is they're very scenic. So second of all, obviously this European army, I hope, please God, that they won't have that stupid idea in their head to go and join the European army if they ever do form it. Very stupid idea if Ireland does join it. Because, Ireland's better off just being on its own, having its own national army, be happy on its island, defending its own island, going off peacekeeping if maybe. But no need for an European army. There's no need for Ireland even getting involved in it. And if any of them do, they're going to have a strict critic like me, and then obviously other members of veterans of the army who they won't shut up because they are left the army. They won't be intimidated because members of the people in the Department of Defence a few times tried to intimidate veterans for speaking out. The same as me. They tried that once. They tried that card once. Didn't end well for them. Because it just ended up me getting worse and just not shutting up then. Which I do admit, but I don't know was it given by high orders. But I was told to be careful what I say about the defence. Be careful what I say about the Department of Defence. And I was like, I say, well, if I what? And if you don't like it, I won't pay my tax. So that's what I said. But anyway, that's back a few years ago. That person's probably gone. I say he's probably gone now, that person, but I don't know who he was. But anyway, probably I was all forgotten by now. But second of all, it's up to the people. And this is what I keep saying. The army have no union. The army have no union. The teachers have a union, the nurses have a union, the doctors have a union, things like that. Every job nearly has a union. But the army has no union. They rely on the people in their family, the wives, the husbands, obviously, to defend their rights because they can't speak up. Soldiers that are serving in Lebanon over there in Lebanon now, just abandoned by the government, just left. And Michael Collins is looking at me more or less saying, "That's true. That's very, very true." And you can see he is looking at me. But it is very, very true. That they just abandoned them. They were too busy worrying about that. They weren't worrying about everything else, but they won't worry about the defence forces. They're too busy worrying about down in Kerry, what's happening in Kerry, and obviously the direct fisheries sector, and moving them down from Dublin. That was their top priority. They didn't worry about the troops that were left over there that serving Ireland abroad. They didn't worry about them. They were more worried about moving them down from Dublin to Kerry, and just putting the problem onto some other town. That wasn't right. I'm not going to say any more about it because I just couldn't be bothered. I just couldn't be bothered. Let the government, let Charlie Flanagan do whatever he wants. Because at the end of the day, they're not really just going to do whatever they want. Let's be honest. The Department of Justice will do whatever they want, and they won't really care for people criticising them. But yeah, as I say, we have to defend the people, the people's army, our army, and it's not about the army. It's about our army. It's the people's army. We have to defend it from the government's attacks. Obviously, trying to neglect them, trying to push them down. In other words, and trying to make them homeless. In other words, we have to defend them. As the people of Ireland, we have to defend them from the government and from the Department of Defence and put the president above all else. First of all, I think we should get rid of that who in the office, because my Christ, he has to be a figurehead for the Irish state. I understand that, but second of all, he's the commander in chief of the army, commander in chief of the Defence Forces. What Michael Collins had, and at least Michael Collins took his time to go and talk to these soldiers. See what they were doing. Obviously, there's plenty of videos of them going to inspecting soldiers and everything, seeing how they were doing, talking to them. Michael Higgins does no such thing. He just walks past them more or less with them invisible. That's as simple as that. He doesn't take the time out to speak to his soldiers, see what they how they're feeling, how they're doing. And that's something that at least Donald Trump. I give something for Donald Trump. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I give something to Donald Trump. He has a huge respect for his veterans, people who served in Vietnam and things like that. He's huge respect for them. He go out of his way to talk to any of them, which I absolutely adore. Which is great. Michael Higgins should do that more often, because there's so many Irish veterans of the Irish Army lying in the street, and he's up in the hours with about 100 women in his house. He won't go out and speak to his own soldiers that served for 40, 50 years. Some of them served probably even longer than that, and he won't even acknowledge it. He's just sitting up in the hours and do nothing. Because he's not really a good figurehead for the Irish state. He says nothing. He speaks now and again, but he doesn't really do much. And let's be honest, he doesn't really do much. He signs whatever the government puts in front of him. He doesn't do anything. He just really doesn't do anything. At least to give something to Mary McAleese, said, I have huge respect for the two women presidents of Ireland. For being obviously the women presidents, it was a huge thing, especially Mary Robertson when she became president of Ireland. The first woman president of ever Ireland. It showed the change in the times. But second of all, at least they had respect for the soldiers. At least they went and checked up on the soldiers. Not a hope Michael Higgins caring less what happened to the soldiers. Because he said it once. He said it once that the soldiers deserve better pay. But I say this, and a lot of veterans I knew, and a lot of people I knew in the army said, thanks be to God, finally he might do something. He might change everything for the better. They got a few extra, Bob, but my God, it was more or less you give them more rabbit money, more or less. We didn't give them much. We didn't give them much more. You just tried to shut them up even more. If anything, you just tried to shut them up even more from what's happening in the army. And here's the thing. I say this straight to the Department of Defence and to any member of the government or any member of his Majesty Michael E. Higgins' government. I say straight to you. I would defend the Defence Forces' rights, and I would defend the Defence Forces as a whole. For whilst they defend us, I would defend them. And that's something that many people should listen to what I said there. As they defend us, we should defend them. And we should defend them from treating them like prisoners. And I would never shut up about it. And unless you put a bullet in my head, that's the only time we shut up about it. And I'm basically inviting you, so if you want to shut me up to the Department of Defence. You can put a bullet in me, but hopefully my voice will speak out more. Hopefully in the few days before he was assassinating me, I'll speak up even further and speak up even more. But the thing is, and I say this to the people just as a consolation, they're our army, they're our people. Stand up for them. Stand up for them. Thank you.